All ready for a live show.
Just
Yeah.
doing the best I can.
And here I just went live
I
on
work with some
Facebook.
great
Hey,
people.
Facebook folks.
Merry Christmas,
Okay.
Happy New Year, and rock.
First segment's going to be Benchmark on
Hi,
a pre-recorded.
This is producer Mike wishing everyone a blessed Christmas and all the best in the new year.
Should say
This
on a
is
best of
producer
show.
Nikki, and while everyone is opening up presents, just remember what Christmas is truly about. I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and may God bless you.
This is Business 1110.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio. Five 1817, toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Right Path Real Estate Radio, practical real estate investing. I'm joined live in the studio with Hatham. He's with Benchmark Insurance Group. That's Benchmark Insurance Group. It's insureinvestors.com, 281-569-4353, 281-569-4353. Good morning. Welcome to the show,
Good morning.
man.
Thanks for having us, Tom.
Yeah, so insurance.
Insurance, hurricane season.
So insurance has been around for, I don't know, a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an industry that's tried and true. You know, what's amazing to me is our educational system teaches, you know, my daughter's reading Romeo and Juliet right now. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo, right? But they don't teach insurance. Like, how does homeowners insurance work, or how does life insurance work, or health insurance, et cetera? So give us what would you teach my 13-year-old daughter about why you need homeowners insurance?
Well, I mean, for investors, asset protection is everything. It's not if, it's when these events happen. You know, what risks to really that you want to cover, what perils are at risk. You want to make sure that you have a really good policy. And if you're investing all this money into real estate and other things, you have to have insurance nowadays.
Is there ever a situation you wouldn't want to have a house insured?
There are situations.
Give me one.
I've seen situations where, investor bought a $30,000 home, doesn't have a mortgage on it, terrible roof.
Yeah.
You know,
In other words, the asset's uninsurable unless he fixes it up, and he doesn't want to fix it up.
Exactly.
And so he doesn't insure it.
And there are cases where insurance company will not cover the
Yeah,
home.
I bought a house just recently. I'll go ahead and say it on the air. I bought a house for $2,000.
Okay.
And
That's awesome.
and it's almost livable. And so I thought, I can go put $20,000 into making it livable. It's in a highly Hispanic area. I could go in and make it livable, or I could actually stick a sign in the yard and say for rent as is, $600 a month or something like that. And where can you go rent a house for $600 a month? Nowhere. So sure enough, got a guy that says, his wife called and said, "Hey, my husband, he's a plumber. He does sheetrock. He does paint. He does light electrical. I mean, he does." And I'm like, "Okay, it doesn't have a gas meter, It's so but he's a plumber, so he could fix that,
Right.
And so he, for $600. Now her concern is like, hey, how much are you going to jack the rent once
Right.
we fix it up? And I said, hey, my commitment to you is I won't jack the rent for a year. And then next year, I promise not to go up more than $100 a month. I mean, I'll tell you right up front, I'll go up to $700 a month next year, and then probably $800 a month the next year after that, and then $900. Within 4 years, you'll be up to like $1,000 a month. But I'm in this thing for $2,000, and now I was talking like, should I get insurance on this or not? Right?
That works. I mean, if anything, get liability insurance.
Right. But I've got a blanket umbrella already.
You have a blanket.
Right. So.
But the 2,000. You
I
don't
know.
have really much, you're going to pay more in insurance.
Right,
than
I know.
what you have invested at that point.
Exactly.
That's unheard of. $2,000.
I know. It's an unusual situation. There's a wonky title issue, and that's why I can't sell it. I bought it with a title problem. Obviously, didn't go, but I have full control. Nobody's disputing my ownership. You go to HCAT, it says I own it. All that kind of stuff. So
pass on the deal. Pass on the deal.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's one of those. I wouldn't call it a rookie strategy. I would, but I thought. And then here's the other thing: is I thought, okay, well, do I want to put $20,000 in a house that I have dirty title on, right?
Right.
Because it's not like I can go get a lender on that. And then, so do I want to tie up capital like that? And then, but then I thought, I don't want to leave it vacant because somebody could come in there and steal the copper out. They can make it worse.
Right.
So I thought, well, let's just rent it as is.
No, that works. That
So-
works. Awesome. Good deal.
Thanks.
My man Juan Guzman.
Yeah. So
Good morning,
Juan,
bud.
hey, good morning, Juan. Good morning, Mom. Sabra's my mom.
Hey, Mom.
Good morning, Nate and Mary. So where do you see the biggest mistakes that new investors make in terms of insurance?
Biggest mistakes is finding the right agent.
Okay.
If you're going,
But aren't
down-
all agents created equal? I say that
Not even
laughable, right?
close.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even close.
Aren't all contractors created equal?
Yeah,
right.
as you've seen.
Yeah, right.
With real estate-driven businesses, you need to find a real estate-driven insurance agent. Just like anything else, you can't go to your local State Farm and Farmers and expect to get the right pricing, to get the right coverage, asking the right questions. A lot of agents don't know what questions to ask. Hey, are you doing any remodeling? Is it cosmetic? Are you doing roofing? What are the real exposures at hand when going into this project?
Well, almost every homeowners insurance agent does most of their stuff if they're like a Farmers or a State Farm guy or something like that. They're doing a lot of life insurance,
Right.
because there's a lot of money there.
A lot of homeowners.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of homeowners insurance, and they're doing some auto, right? And they try and pair auto and home, but for an investor, we very rarely actually buy homeowners insurance, right? It's always either a builder's risk,
A dwelling fire.
or a dwelling fire, or which is like a landlord policy,
Correct.
right? Or a vacant dwelling policy,
or
right?
a vacant dwelling.
And those are most, State Farm Farmers guys, Allstate guys. They're not doing those very often.
They don't do those often.
It might be 5% of their business,
Right.
and so why wouldn't you want to go with someone that's doing that like 99% of their business is that?
Exactly, and it's just a simple, task of asking the right questions. I've seen situations where, an investor would call and say, "Hey, I have a rental, I need to get this insured," and then I'll ask some key questions to find out, "Hey, is it vacant yet?" "Oh, and it is vacant."
Yeah.
They don't come up and tell you these things.
Right?
up
Yeah.
front.
Right.
So if you just contact this guy and write a dwelling fire. You have a claim, water
it's
heater
vacant,
burst,
right, yeah.
and it is vacant.
Right.
If there's not a lease in place, if you don't have the electricity on, they will deny that claim.
Yeah.
Hence being, detrimental to
I'm,
your investment.
when I'm amazed when I talk to sellers a lot of times of houses, and I talk to them about, hey, mom passed away, house has been vacant for 6 months.
Right.
They know that mom had a homeowner's policy. They think that homeowner's policy is still in force. And it's almost like they take this laissez-faire attitude, like, well, I'll worry about that if I have a claim. I'll fight that insurance company. Like, man, you do not fight these folks.
No.
You will not fight and win. And you're like, oh, man, I wish I'd have listened. That's not the way to learn about insurance.
No, it definitely isn't. That's learning the hard way. And it's funny because I have clients where I try to explain these things.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they fear the
I know.
unknown. They're like,
Right.
you know what? No, I trust you.
Yeah, right. Right.
I don't want to know. So make sure you take the necessary steps. Find the right agent. If you are a flipper, make sure you're getting builder's risk. Make sure you have liability. If you are acting as a contractor, make sure you have contractor's liability.
Yeah, that's the other big one. How many people hired all the subs, stuff like that, and they're acting as a contractor, and they go, oh, Fast Track's more expensive. I can get crews out to do that for cheaper.
That's very sticky. I just sent a email campaign out where 85% of flippers are contractors and don't know it.
Yes.
So you're acting as a contractor. You're hiring guys from Home Depot. You're doing these demo.
Yeah.
You want to protect a civilian if he gets injured. You want to protect a sub if he gets injured.
Yeah.
If you are acting as a contractor and you're flipping these houses,
Yep.
And there's a hazard for the new buyer,
Yeah.
you can be sued for that.
Yes.
And regular general liability is not going to cover that. You need contractor's liability in place.
Right.
So
that one's huge, and what I feel like oftentimes is that people like the end justifies the mean. Well, I've never had a problem before, and I've done 30 of these, and I'm like, yeah, that's not the way I want to grow and scale a business,
Right, and it makes it even worse. Now they base it on your gross sales,
right,
and then how much subcontractor costs are.
Right.
So how much am I paying subcontractors, and of those subcontractors, how much is insured and how much are uninsured?
Yeah.
Now, your sheetrock guys and your painters, okay, they're uninsured.
Yeah.
But my electrical, my plumbers, my
Right.
HVAC,
Right.
the roofing.
Right.
These guys need to be insured.
Yes.
When operating on your house.
And what percentage of roofers out there that investors use do you think are actually insured?
I would say about 70%. I
Really?
had a case where a roofer who was insured through us
Yeah.
used us for a certificate.
Yeah.
So he paid
Right.
the down.
So I would say it's lower than 70%.
Yeah.
I think it's probably closer to 10 or 15.
I would say 70% of the people I insure.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Actually, are insured.
oh yeah. No, I mean, because I know a lot of relatively inexpensive roofers out there that
Right.
you can get roofing done for $160, $170 a square.
Exactly.
And these guys are not insured. They're just absolutely not
And
insured.
how do you turn down a great price?
Right.
But at what price?
Yeah.
I should have paid $3,000 more because now this guy fell off my roof and is suing me, or whatever the case may be.
Well, I find so many people in life that one of the errors they make, and this is the difference that I see between successful people and unsuccessful people. Everyone is pretty good at determining what does it cost to do something.
Right.
Most people are not very good at figuring out what's the cost of not doing something. That's one of the things we talk about at the weekend. I used to sell a lot of vitamin supplements, right? And people say, well, how much do your vitamins cost? And my response was, you mean if you take them or if you don't? And I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck or anything like that, but what I recognize is there's a cost for doing something. There's an even greater cost for not doing something. So there's a cost for getting contractor's insurance. There's an even greater cost potentially if you don't. Right. So, hey, it's Benchmark Insurance Group, insureinvestors.com.
Don't
That's
roll the dice.
INSURE investors.com, 281-569-4353, 281-569-4353. What else you want to add?
No, just give us a call if you have any questions on your next deal. We have a great portfolio package.
Yeah, I love
as
the
you know.
portfolio package. For anybody that's doing multiple properties,
All in.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts, Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250
I'm here. I'm
million.
going to switch to foundation check.
Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free.
All right.
Okay. Feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702 3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Gotta wait for the drum riff, right? Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. And we did a quick change during the break. And I'm now joined with Brandon with Foundation Check, 346-702-3825. So I know that you've been slammed.
Yes.
with and that's always a good thing, right? I mean, growth is good, and business growth is even better, right? And so, so what's been going on in the Houston marketplace with Foundation? They've been moving a little, right? Because we've been going from a massive amount of moisture to drought to moisture again, which means that the grounds are just expanding and contracting, expanding and contracting. And so, what does that do to our foundations?
Yeah, I mean, just puts a lot of distress on them. We've gotten a lot of calls recently and done a lot of evaluations. Just because I think it's the summer months, people are out there seeing their grounds start to crack, and they're starting to see some distress in their brick line. But yeah, we've been out there doing 2-3 appointments a day and just have been completely swamped. And we're trying to get to everybody as quickly as possible and turn the reports as quickly as possible. But our summer months are our busiest months traditionally.
Right.
It just inherently, I think everybody thinks summer's here, and then they just visually go, "Oh my gosh, what about my foundation?"
Right.
Well, you should have been worried about your foundation all 12 months, not just the summer months.
Right.
But yeah, the soils right now, we're expanding a lot. We've had a lot of rainfall.
We've had a lot of rainfall in the last couple of weeks.
I mean, just in July alone, I think we're at 4 inches plus for the month. And, I think we're a little bit 2-3 inches above total rainfall for the year. So, but once again, as you mentioned before, it's about, we had the drought a couple of months ago, went a little bit below, and now we've had a lot of rainfall coming through. So, those soils are moving. We are seeing some expansion and some traction going on, and hopefully we're getting to the root cause of some of the problems that are occurring and getting the reports done, whether it's an investment property. We talked about a little bit about a townhouse complex that we're working on. Today we're out doing a small apartment building.
Wow.
It's our 4th apartment, I think, this year. So the apartment buildings are a little more different than single.
With the apartment buildings, is it more of a tree issue that's close to the foundation, or is it something else?
No, it's the same distress that goes on. I mean, a slab is a slab, concrete is concrete.
Right.
The same distress from an evaluation standpoint. It's a little harder for us because we've got to be able to get access to all the units, all the tenants. Oof. And for our residential construction, we prefer the light construction. So we're, our maximum's 2 stories, 3 stories right in that area. Anything above 3 stories, we're going to pass that off, But our expertise is obviously.
You want to do a 50-story office building?
That's not us.
Yeah, right. get some other engineers involved on that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, go direct to the engineer instead of So we were talking at base camp on Thursday night, and Scott, one of our students, was bringing up this particular situation. So he's a landlord. He's got this tenant in place. Tenants reporting some foundation movement, and it's also creating, they think, some underground plumbing issues. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about, hey, what would you do? And he's had 2 or 3 different foundation companies out there giving bids. And I said, well, I wouldn't start with that. I'd start with foundation check.
Sure.
So that we can find out, is it off an inch? Is it off 3 inches? Is it off 5 inches? What's going on? Mm-hmm. And he says, well, how much do I have to move the tenant out in order to do it? How much do I do with the tenant in place? And I said, if you've got a good tenant in place, one of the things is if it's it depends on, is it heaving or is it falling, right?
Sure.
And so if it's heaving, that's one problem. You could have a broken pipe, fix the broken pipe, maybe it goes back over time. You don't really have to do anything. But until foundation check gets out there, it's like I don't have enough data to make a recommendation. It's a little bit like, remember doctors used to say, hey, how are you feeling? What's going on? They'd listen and make a diagnosis in their mind, and then they'd go do lab work, and they had a pretty good idea what they thought it was, and then they would confirm it with the lab work, right? Nowadays, it seems like medicine is done a little differently. They look at the lab work first, and then they might listen to you later, right? Sure. And with this, it's like this is the lab work of what's really going on. And so the tenant can be saying, well, this is what I see happening. Okay, great, but I don't really, without the data, it's hard to see, is it 2 inches, is it 3 inches, is it 4 inches? Because depending on how far it is, rising, falling, or whatever, that's going to give me a different idea of what. And I even came up with this idea. I wouldn't do it if it was vacant. I'd want to go ahead and fix it, right? Yep. And when I say fix, bring it to within building tolerance. That's the fix, right?
That's correct.
But I might just want to stabilize it to keep it, like if it's shrinking, for example, just stabilize it from falling any lower, not necessarily lift it, because then if I fix the plumbing, because lifting can actually do, and what he was asking is, how much damage can the foundation repair itself do? And the answer is quite a bit, potentially. Can do flooring damage, can do wall damage, things like that. So I may want to stabilize it so I don't have to go in and replace the floors while the tenant's there, or have to go in and do the painting and the sheetrock. I don't want to paint when a tenant's there, because I don't want to, it's always a risk of overspray on their stuff, just the inconvenience, the smell, they're allergic to, the fumes, whatever it is, asthma, because it's like, oh my gosh, I think all the liability, right? So what's your thought about that, just stabilizing it?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, when we come out and we do the evaluation and then we look at the data, because you're correct, the lab results, those numbers do not lie.
They do not.
You can visually
it's
see
math.
it.
Right.
It is, and you can visually see the performance of your foundation with our report. You've seen the AutoCAD drawings.
Yep.
And I, talking to Scott a little bit in his situation, that customer is a little bit different because and our goal is to have a cure to fix over long term.
Correct.
And we prefer not to do peer work.
Right.
Nobody wants to because especially if you got to go in the interior part and do interior piers.
Correct.
Any time that you're adjusting a foundation up or down, you're going to have the ability to potentially cause more damage, as you talked about.
Residual damage, right.
So, in Scott's
number
case,
one, you got to find out if there's a plumbing issue, right?
Yeah.
Because if there's an underground plumbing issue, that's got to be fixed. No ifs, ands, or buts.
And once again, the data probably will tell us that. Because we'll see traditionally, we just did a job the other day that, the home was pretty decent. But in the back part of the property, we had a 2-inch drop roughly.
Wow.
And it was all right there by the bathroom. The home was pretty good. But just by that bathroom, we say, hey, look, you see we have 3 different data points, and all of a sudden, boom, we go to a bowl right here in the bathroom.
Which means probably erosion, right?
Well, I believe it's probably a cracked sewer pipe.
Right.
And you've got that moisture there that's losing the integrity, and, who knows what's underneath that. So you got to come in there, do the hydrostatic test, and see what is going on and go forward from there. So.
Right. Okay, so you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our call-in number, if you want to ask any questions, is 713-785-1817. This is Build Your Team Tuesday. FoundationCheck.com is in the house. That's Foundation Check. So Foundation Check doesn't do any foundation repairs. They're an unbiased third-party, like engineering company, to go out and give a real evaluation of what's going on with the foundation. So you can take that information and make a informed decision, because peers are not always the solution. Sometimes it might involve root walls. Sometimes it might involve drainage. Sometimes it might involve fixing some underground plumbing. Sometimes it might involve some gutter situations going on, things like that, right?
Yeah, all those factor into play. You know, some of our reports, we talked about the soaker hoses in the past. We talked about the pets that dig up in the backyard, and then we got pooling around the house. You know, people, you know, there could be a variety of different things that causes distress on a foundation, and hopefully our report will give you that. You know, it's not only, hey, your slab is up or down, but let's really kind of get to the nuts and bolts on what potentially is causing it to move.
In my own personal house, we started seeing, I had a house built it 20-something years ago. You know, the builder always puts a live oak tree right in the front, and it's a relatively small tree. And, you know, we made the mistake early on, like, you know, we wanted this little tree to grow faster, so deep root feeding and all of that. Yeah, you know, like we want a good, healthy tree and keeping it pruned. And now it's a beautiful tree in the front yard, and guess what? It's sucking a lot of water. Yep. And so water's migrating. So we noticed, like in the entryway, you know, we had fresh tile right there and started seeing some cracking in the grout and things like that. Rather than putting piers in, that's one solution, we decided, hey, let's put a root wall. Sure. Let's keep the water from migrating from underneath. And guess what? That solved the problem.
Yep.
And so now it might have been cheaper to go in and put 2 or 3 piers in, but it would have temporarily fixed. But we went to the, no pun intended, the root cause of the problem, right? We didn't treat the symptoms, we treated the cause. Right. And so oftentimes if you just get to treating the cause, that makes all the difference in the world. So it's Foundation Check, 346-702-3825. Their solutions are not just putting in piers or pilings. The solution's also looking at what's creating the cause, what's creating the situation, so they can give you some alternative solutions to the traditional foundation repair.
Yep, absolutely. And it's designed to be informative. It's designed to be the root cause, but also hopefully at the end of the day save you a little bit of money. You know, whether you're a owner-occupied or even, you know, as a real estate investor, as we, you know, both are here, and hopefully get you a good pier design that can be long-lasting.
So I had an investor one time told me he didn't want to buy any houses that had ever had foundation work. What's your thought about that in Houston, Texas?
Well, that sounds like a bad investor, and you know, I mean, obviously a lot of money can be made if you purchase a property that's in distress that has foundation. I mean, because that seller traditionally probably knows he or she can see the cracks in the wall, you know, and then you if you're a savvy investor, if you're involved in your mastermind group, you know, you're able to take that person and say, hey, look, I know what to do with this foundation. I know how to fix it correctly. And then whether you're going to flip the home or put a tenant in it, whatever it may be long term, you're able to get that asset back up and going. So,
right.
And be cost effective at it. So.
Absolutely. So one more time, it's foundationcheck.com, foundationcheck.com, 346-702-3825. Be patient. They've been really, really busy because they're worth the wait. If you can't get them on the phone, then text them. So you can also text 346-702-3825. Foundation Check for all your foundation needs. Give them a call. Thanks for coming in, man.
All right, Tom. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Cut it close.
Again, that's 832-742-9992.
Yes, sorry.
Or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. We've got an event today called Wealth Through Real Estate Workshop. And it's an hour with me understanding why real estate, single-family real estate specifically, is such an amazing investment. If Warren Buffett had started 20-something years ago, 30 years ago when he started investing in single-family real estate, instead of what he's done. Now, he's done well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's top 5 richest guys on the planet. But he'd probably be the first trillionaire if he'd have done single-family real estate. Because when you look at the rates of return that you get in single-family real estate, and when you look at the risk versus the reward for the average person, you know what's fascinating to me is how many people I talk to and say, hey, do you have a 401k? Yes, I do. And they say, I ask the next question, hey, do you have any idea what you own in your 401k? There's this awkward silence. And it's like, well, no. In fact, you know, the bank, the financial advisor, whoever it is, you know, said, hey, don't even really look at it all that regularly. You don't really even want to look at your investment because, you know, it's going to go up and it's going to go down. It's going to go all around, you know, but it's the long term that you're really focused. I'm like, what? You know, it's interesting when we repeat back what people tell us sometimes as advice and we say, wow, this, I don't know that this really makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. Hey, just don't even really. I was talking to somebody last night. It's almost like the doctor said, hey, you know, if you've got a lump, just ignore it. You know, if you've got a lump somewhere in your body, just ignore it. It'll probably go away. Just don't even pay attention to it. And financial advisors sometimes say, well, you know, you don't really even want to watch all that closely what your investment's doing. And I stop and think, I asked this one particular person recently, I said, you know, how much do you normally pay for a pair of blue jeans? And she said, I don't know, you know, if it's a really good pair, name brand, you know, all that, maybe $150. I said, would you ever pay $5,000 for a pair of blue jeans? She goes, no, I'd be feeling like I'm getting ripped off. I'm like, you know, it seems like you pay more attention to what you spend on blue jeans than where you're putting your retirement money. I want you to think about that for a second. Most people that are putting money into a 401k, I get that it's for a long-term retirement situation. But do you even know all the people between like your advisor? Do you know like there's lots of people that can touch your account between your advisor and you that are making decisions on what your money's doing? Because oftentimes if you're in a small cap, mid cap, if you're in some kind of derivative, in other words, you're in some kind of investment that says that, you know, somebody else is picking what you're in, then you're not actually picking that. So who is picking that? You know, if you're in the market, what you're doing is you're buying some portions of ownership in a company. And if you're going to buy a portion of a company, you got to think of it like buying the whole company. So if you're going to buy a company, would you want to buy it low or would you want to buy it high? And almost everybody asks that question is, they say, yeah, I want to buy it low and I want to sell it high. Well, if you don't even know what you own, how do you know if you bought it right? It's always fascinating to me when advisors say, after a stock's gone up 30, 40, 50%, they give it a strong buy. Like, why didn't you give it a strong buy before the run-up? It drops 20, 30, 40%. They give it a strong sell. I'm like, man, whose team are you on? Why aren't you able to look and based on the financial strength of the company, tell me what it's going to be doing? And the reality is that they don't really know what the stock's going to do because there's so much money in the marketplace that the stock is no longer really linked to the performance of the company. So what's fascinating is when I start talking about what the market is and what a index fund is or what a derivative is, most people's eyes start glazing over. They start giving me this really confused look. And they get a little bit embarrassed. And that's not my goal. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm not trying to give people that glazed over, embarrassed look. But when you realize, I talked to this one gal and, she said that she wouldn't spend more than $150 on a pair of pants. But then I said, well, how much money have you spent in your retirement fund? And she says, well, I've got over $30,000 in there. And I said, well, you've spent $30,000 on stuff and you don't even know what it is? And she's like, yeah, that didn't make much sense, does it? She goes, and I said, no, it doesn't. I go, you don't even know what you bought. And she said, yeah, my banker said, yeah, don't even look. Don't even look at the statements. Because sometimes you won't like what you see, but, it'll all work out in the end. I want you to compare that strategy to, I think, you can actually drive by a house that you buy. And you can understand what a house is and where the land is. And nobody's going to be able to hack into it. Nobody's going to be able to steal it in the middle of the night. Nobody's going to be able to move it. When you compare the rates of return, when you compare the risk, when you compare the leverage, when you compare the tax benefits, when you compare the cash flow, when you compare the appreciation, when you compare all the different things that single-family houses give as an investment return, I don't know that people would put money anywhere else. Now, that's going to cause a problem for Wall Street, but they can handle it. I'd rather you not have the problem and they have the problem than you have the problem. What I recognize is they're really good at raising money, and they've built a system to keep most people in the dark about what they're investing in. I find very, very few people. And we attract a lot of really bright, smart people. We just did a Wealth Through Real Estate Academy this past weekend. You know, self-employed people, business owners, successful business owners. I mean, people making really, really good money, smart people. And when you start looking at, hey, do you have a 401k? Yes. Do you have an IRA? Yes. What do you have it invested in? And they say, I don't know. And these are smart people. And then when I compare that with that you can take $150,000 and go buy a $150,000 house, you can do that with cash. You'll get about 7% on appreciation. You'll get about 9% on cash flow. You can get about 16% on your money if you buy it with cash. Or you can use leverage. Take that $150,000, divide it into 5 $30,000 chunks. Buy 5 houses at $150,000 each. Would you like to get the leverage or the appreciation on a $150,000 house or 5 $150,000 houses? That's how you build wealth quickly. Most people, when they start thinking about retirement, they start thinking about an age of retirement. But what if you started thinking about retirement as a number? What's your number? How much would it take on a monthly basis to bring in more than enough for you to live the lifestyle that you want to live? Start thinking about what that number is. Is that $3,000 a month? Is that $5,000 a month? Is that $6,000? Is that $7,000? Is that $8,000? Is it $10,000? Could you live on $10,000 a month coming in passively for your household, especially if it was tax-free money? There's some specific tax advantages that single-family houses have through depreciation that oftentimes the cash flow that you receive doesn't exceed the depreciation that you would get from that house. So imagine if you had $10,000 a month coming in passively. In other words, your money's working, but you're not. One of the things I love about single-family buy and hold real estate, it's one of the few things that you can do that you do a little bit of work. Most people, what they do is they do some work, they get paid. They stop working, they stop getting paid. Work, get paid. Work, get paid. Work, get paid. But imagine if you could work, then get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. Get paid, get paid, get paid. You don't have to add the work in there again. The work's already been done. Very few opportunities are there out like that out there. What's fascinating to me is, now, the one thing I do like about a 401k program is the matching from the employer. I do like the idea that if I'm making $100,000 a year for some company and they're willing to allow me to take out up to 3%, 5%, whatever that varies from company to company. But they're going to allow you to take out that money pre-tax. In other words, before you ever see it, it's going to force you to put it into an investment vehicle. And then the best part is there's some level that they'll match that dollar for dollar. Making $100,000 a year and they say, hey, we'll match 100% of the first 3%. Then I'm turning my $3,000 into $6,000 regardless of what the market does. Now that's smart. You can double your money in the same year. That's smart. But to go above and beyond that, because you're trying to play catch up, what I would recommend is once you, when just take a look. You owe it to yourself and to your family to take a look. I'm working right now on a webinar where you don't even have to come in and see us to be able to take a look. Look for that just after the first of the year. There'll be a 30-minute webinar. And you'll be able to compare, like what we do in our Wealth Through Real Estate workshop. Go to rightpathrealestate.com if you want to come to the Wealth Through Real Estate workshop. You want to come in person. I'll be doing it myself tonight. I'll be live in person, 6:30 tonight. You'll be done by 7:30. If you've not ever looked at real estate before, you're missing out. You owe it to yourself and your family to take a look.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done
Nikki,
fast.
before, how much?
No more managing it yourself.
You didn't do an
No
extra
more doing
commercial
the
or
work
anything,
yourself.
right?
Fast Track
No, you're
Remodeling
good.
really
All right,
does manage
cool.
it all.
So give us a call today.
Yeah, I was
at
watching the time at. Could you hear me?
832-9992.
When I was.
Again, that's
I don't think you could, right?
832-742-9992.
Yeah, I was having a
Or
conversation
reach us
with
on the web at
trying to.
Oh, no, I didn't hear any talking.
Okay.
Selecting a foundation company and their product.
I was on a
or repair
toll-free
is
number
lot
trying
like a
to
game of chance.
add a day
You
on a
simply
hotel
don't know what
reservation.
you're gonna get. The
Oh.
foundation repair doesn't
And
carry a
unbelievable.
license,
They.
nor is it
Hey,
regulated.
you're going to have to get with
However,
your
Foundation Check
AE about
utilizes professional
holiday
engineers
shows.
to review
Okay.
all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in
Who's
today's
my
market.
AE?
Remember to check before ever repair.
Jerry.
346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
I'll just handle it. I'll just handle it.
Hello, real estate investors.
You're awesome.
Do
Thanks.
You need a lender that moves
I do what I
fast at the
can.
speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties.
You realize you're going to have a great
quickly, little cash
2019,
out of
right?
pocket as possible.
I hope
Jet
so.
Lending
I'm praying.
also sets up a repair escrow fund
Yeah,
to help
it's-
you with
it's gonna
repair
happen.
costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of
1 minute.
repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet
Yeah,
Lending is
you're
a
right, exactly
fast
1
and
minute.
friendly hard
Yep.
money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info.
So how much of this are you doing versus how much is
Oh,
Cindy
and
doing?
Don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting.
I've been
Lots
doing
of
the
fun,
segments.
lots of
She's
great
just
real estate
watching.
talk.
Okay.
We'll see you there.
So she can be ready to do it tomorrow?
She's not going to be live tomorrow, or she's not going to be by herself tomorrow.
Problem
Okay.
is you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. So I've only got a few minutes left. Hope you've enjoyed the show. What I want you to do is go to rightpathrealestate.com. rightpathrealestate.com. We've got some major changes coming to our website probably in the next 48 hours. I'm really excited about that. Going to be a whole lot easier to navigate. Going to be a whole lot easier to find what you're looking for, those kind of things. So what I'd recommend that you do is get registered for the Wealth Through Real Estate Workshop. And it's really simple. It's free. That's one of the best things. Because we sit there and break down an example of a house. We could even get on MLS and actually find an actual house that you could go out and do this with. And if you only knew what I know about how simple it is to be able to get outsized returns with reduced risk. And we even talk about what are the risks that are involved in investing in real estate. But when you compare single-family real estate with anything else, stocks, bonds, anything else that's out there, you'd be like, oh my gosh, you're going to have some regrets. Your regret's going to be, I wish I'd have done this a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. We've talked to other people that have taken a look at this. Oh my gosh, I wish I'd have known about this 20 years ago. Stop and think about this. Is there any doubt that houses tomorrow will be worth more than they are today? Or even what I'll say is a year from now, be worth more than they are today. 10 years from now. When you look at what replacement costs are on single-family houses, and if you're able to buy houses below replacement cost, below the median home price, houses that cash flow, do you realize how many markets there are across the country, like in California or New York or places like that? You can't do what we can do in Houston. It doesn't work. The houses are so expensive. The least expensive houses are so much more expensive to own versus what they'll rent for, because people can't afford as much for rentals as they can for owning, that they don't cash flow. But we can buy houses here that cash flow. So not only do we get appreciation, but we get cash flow as well. You need to take a look. You got to check it out. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. Register. It's the Wealth Through Real Estate Workshop. But Tom, I can't make it today at 2 o'clock. Excuse me, today on Tuesday at 6:30. I've got something else going on at 6:30. Okay, then register for our Thursday event. I'll be doing it at noon on Thursday for those of y'all that are looking for something to do at lunchtime. Take a break. If you're in the Energy Corridor, that's where we are. We're at 13501 Katy Freeway. That's 13501 Katy Freeway. It's easy to find. You can get to it from Memorial Drive, or you can get to it from the Katy Freeway. Go to our website, rightpathrealestate.com. We've got a little map on our website. Shows you where we are. But you want to show up about 10 minutes early. You don't want to be late, because we get started right on time. I want to start on time. I want to finish on time, because I want to respect your time. So you should respect your time also. Get there on time.
10 seconds.
Look forward to seeing you tonight, 6:30, rightpathrealestate.com. Thanks for staying tuned. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
All right, mic's off. I'll see you in a minute.
All right, bye-bye.